There's a lot of traps that you can fall into during an investigation, and tunnel vision is one of the major ones. It basically happens when you become so focused in on a suspect or a theory that you start to ignore anything else that comes in during that time that might provide some sort of alternative explanation or alternative suspect. It's something that is actually contagious. It can be passed along from the investigator to the prosecutor to the judge. It's just a natural way that we deal with information. It's one of the shortcuts that we take. There are ways to guard against it. There are ways to prevent it. It mostly involves having somebody looking over your shoulder, checking your work, playing devil's advocate, because once you fall into that tunnel vision trap yourself, which we all do, we're all victims of it, we can't see it. We don't recognize it, but people around us can, and they have to be able to step in and say, wait a minute, maybe you want to look at this in a different way. In every single wrongful conviction case, you are going to see an example of tunnel vision. However, more importantly, tunnel vision is going to cause good cases where you've identified the right suspect and you're on the right path. Tunnel vision is going to cause you to do things or to miss evidence or to screw that case up somehow, which is going to result in either the case getting dropped or the person being found not guilty. Confirmation bias is just what you might consider to be a subset of tunnel vision. What happens with confirmation bias is you begin to seek confirmation rather than information. You're not trying to gather evidence impartially and interpret it impartially. You're only trying to get evidence that confirms your preconceived notion, your theory. Now, there's a time in an investigation where you need to focus. You can't go exploring every single little room or lead to the fullest extent. You need to focus somewhat because that's how you move an investigation along. There are certain advantages to tunnel vision, but it's when you begin to totally ignore or disregard anything that may upset your theory. That's when it becomes dangerous. One reason that a lot of cases get overturned is because of what we call Brady violations. That's the term for when evidence that is favorable to a suspect is not provided to the defense attorney. And usually that information is supposed to be turned over by the prosecutor, but it starts with the investigator. If the investigator is suffering from tunnel vision, if they're so locked in on this person as their suspect, and this new information comes in that could very well be very favorable to them, it could be an alibi, it could point to another suspect. Because of tunnel vision, the detective is going to look upon that information and go, no, that's not relevant, that's not important. And a lot of times, it doesn't make it from the detective's file to the prosecutor. Not only that, the detective isn't going to follow up on it appropriately. So what happens is the detective has lost a chance to follow up, maybe disprove an alibi, maybe find an alternative suspect. By going back and actively and aggressively working to identify and prevent tunnel vision in your investigations, one, you're ensuring a quality investigation. Two, you're also protecting yourself from a good defense attorney during cross-examination, who's going to bring up all the things that you missed and then follow up on because you were so locked in to this one theory. And three, it's going to protect you from liability in the long run. Things do go bad sometimes, but if you've done the best investigation that you can, if you've crossed your T's and dotted your I's and you've taken steps to show that you're open-minded and that you're just searching for the truth rather than for confirmation of what you believe to be true, then that protects you. It protects your reputation, it protects your department, it protects your livelihood.